My name is Rashard. I play running back, and I go to Northside High School, class 2019.
You have gotten a lot of opportunities this year. How's it felt to get that ball in your hands?
It's felt good because in the summer I just been waiting to get the opportunity to shine, so I just got the opportunity.
Now, unfortunately, Jamari went down with an injury. You've had to kind of pick up some of the slack. What have you been doing to step in?
Yes, ma'am. I've just been working harder, to be honest, because my dad's been telling me that I was going to get an opportunity sometime, so I've just been waiting, and then Jamari got injured, and then I just had to step up, so I've just been working harder.
What's been your biggest challenge at the position this year?
Well, coming from JV and then going straight up to varsity, and then Jamari getting hurt and having to start and play. Like, I'm not used to, how fast the game is and how strong people are, so yeah.
You've done a good job breaking through the defenses. What do you look for when you look downfield? You've gotten some good blocking, but you've also done it on your own at times.
Yeah, when I get the ball, I usually follow Antoine. He goes in the middle. I just follow him, and I see that little hole, and I just hit it.
You've had an opportunity to score some touchdowns. How did your first touchdown feel?
When I scored, I couldn't believe it. And I scored on varsity, and then I just got happy, and then from there I just started scoring more.
What are you looking forward to down the road? You have the rest of this season. Your guys are really hopeful about the playoffs. Tell me about what your thoughts are for the future.
Well, for the rest of this year, hopefully we win out last 3 games and then go far in the playoffs, hopefully states.
Coach, we got a tough opponent coming up. Let me ask you first, when you look at the offense of the Havelock Rams, it's a fairly balanced offense, putting up about a little bit more in the air than on the ground, but relatively balanced. When we go head-to-head on average yards, Northside is fairly comparable on rushing, but when you look into receiving yards, that's where the great disparity is. How do you stop Havelock's quarterback?
Well, what we have to do is put him in a situation where he's going to have to throw it long. A lot of his passes are short passes, the bump pass. So I think the yards might be skewed a little bit where we're handed off on the jet, and it's runs for us where he's tossing it forward a little bit. It's counter pass for him. But they're going to be a tough task all the way around. Hopefully we can come in and just play hard and make it a close, respectable game and come out with the win.
They have put up a lot of numbers on other teams, but they haven't faced a secondary like yours either.
Right, they haven't. With Jared Wilson back there and Demetrius Jones playing 2 guys that'll go get the ball in the air. Hopefully they'll do a good job of that Friday night. Think back to last year, I think we picked off about 3 or 4 passes at the quarterback through, so hopefully we can duplicate that and come out on a positive end.
Where do you think your biggest advantage will be?
To be honest, I don't know if we have an advantage. I think it's going to be even all the way around, or they might have a slight advantage. I know they're going to come in, pick the win, but we're going to show up and we're not going to back down. I think if you look at the history at Northside, we play tough opponents, and we volunteered to play them the last couple of years, but now we have no choice because conference play. But we didn't back down then, we're not going to back down now, and they're one of the few teams that we play more than twice and haven't beaten. So it's bound to happen, and hopefully it'll happen Friday night.
And that's when you look at the intangibles, the only chance you have of getting a win or tie for the conference is to beat them.
Right. We have to beat Havelock. Actually, we need to win out, win the rest 3, and then hopefully we get some help from them beating Jacksonville, and then you have a 3-way tie in the coin toss, and then we can claim part of that conference title, and it'll be great as our first year in 3A to say that we were the conference champs.
On the other side of the coin, if you have 1 loss down the road, you're still looking pretty good for playoffs.
Yeah, we are with 1 loss. I talked to the kids earlier this week. I said, win all 3, there's guaranteed to win. We're going to be home for probably at least 2 rounds of the state playoffs. But if we lose 1, we can get in and may have 1 home game. But if we happen to lose all 3 or lose 2 of them, we may be on the outside looking in. So right now we're focusing on Havelock, and then we'll turn our attention to West Carteret, which is going to be a very big game next week. Right after that game Friday night, I'm sure the kids will start looking forward on Sunday, but the coaches will start preparing Friday night, Saturday morning.
Taking a look at the conference, this has been a pretty tough conference this season, and some surprises, I guess, as far as the teams that are emerging in this conference. What's been the biggest or hardest thing about moving up to 3A for the team?
I don't know if there's been anything really, really hard for us moving up, but just knowing right now that each week you're fighting for your playoff lives, I think, is the biggest thing that we have to put up with. And I showed the records to the guys, the rankings, and like White Oak, they upset Swansboro. that took Swansboro from being into the playoffs to out of the playoffs. So we just can't have any upsets occur. Right now I think we're 35th and West Carter Red's 38th. So either way, that's going to be a big game next week. But if we take care of business tomorrow night against Havelock and then the rest of the weeks, we won't have to worry about it.
When you go to a road game like Havelock, and Wallace Rose Hill is another huge football school where football, there's an atmosphere. How do you prepare your players for that atmosphere of a big football school and the 12th man in the stands?
Oh, well, we kind of used to it, went to Wallace and we played in that atmosphere there, and I think the guys played well. Just came out on the negative end of that, but we was in that game the whole entire time. Just so happened the offense didn't show up that night, so hopefully they'll show up tomorrow. But I don't think it'll be a big thing to the guys. They know that they're not playing for the crowd, and the crowd is there. But if we go out and play the best football that we can at the end of the game, I think we have a chance to win it.
You've been hit by injuries. You've had another player go down. Tell me a little bit about how you've been making adjustments. I know you brought at least one player up from JV.
Yeah, we brought a couple guys up from JV. The injuries is bad that these guys are getting hurt, and I think we lost 4 with the same injury. To me, it's kind of unheard of to have 4 guys go out with the same injury. But we moved up some guys off of JV that we thought could play and help us, and they did good things. Brought Notre Andrews up. He's going to play backup quarterback and some free safety for us, along with Marcy Miller. Got it. We're 8 quartered all year, and then now he's in playing some, and he had a big return last week off an interception. And then we brought up Christian Smith as well to play some nose guard for us, get a little bit more depth on the defensive side of the ball. So these guys are coming in and playing, and we're expecting them to make plays. And I know they're young, but I think they're ready to go.
An honor for one of your team.
Yes, today we got word that Jared Wilson was invited to play in the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas, which is the best in North Carolina against the best in South Carolina, and we're excited, and he's excited, and we're just proud that he's going to represent Northside High School.